I don't think we realize that vegan leather is plastic. They've been super boring. I think it's so much overdone. Make your presence a statement. Yeah, I mean, it's a neat girl move. Hello, wonderful people of the internet. My name is Angie and welcome to another video. Today it's December 30th, which means that we have one day left in 2025, which means that it's time to start doing some predictions. So here are 26 fashion trend predictions that we're going to see in 2026. I have notes, so let's get started straight away with hair and beauty. I believe we're going to see a lot of volume and a lot of side parts as well. This has been already around, especially into Pinterest, that a lot of us go when we, before we visit our hairdressers and our nail techs. Yeah, Pinterest is a place to go. So I truly believe that we're going to see a lot of side parts. I'm very thankful for that because the middle part is all good. I have bangs right now, but you guys, we really need to stop with the middle part and the sleek back bands and ponytails. Please, we're going to have zero hair left by the time we're 40. Anyway, moving on to colors. I think we are going to see a lot of light blue moments. We saw it quite a lot in the runway, even for fall and winter collections. So not just spring, because spring is quite obvious. I mean, the blues, the yellows, the pastels, and all of that. But I believe we're going to see a lot of light blue. We are going to keep seeing rich chocolate browns, deep caramel colors, burgundy, obviously, I think it's here to stay. Mocha mousse, that I think it was 2025 color of the year. Yeah, the 2026 is a white, boring shade. But yeah, we're still going to see those, especially during the winter months. Obviously, it's going to lighten up for spring and summer. And I think we're also going to see some extra icy metallic silvers, kind of a futuristic vibe, a combination of minimal and maximal glam silver vibe. Be even a silver satin gown or silver satin, blouse with lace. And speaking of lace, let's move on to the next category, which is fabrics and textures. So I believe in 2026 lace is going to be huge, enormous, and I mean, we've already seen it everywhere. A lot of nightgown style clothes, especially being layered with even pants. Do I love it? No. Is it a huge trend? I guess, yeah. We're also going to see lace in accessories like scarf, a lot of triangle scarves that go on your shoulders, go above your jeans, and all of that. We're also going to see suede. I think suede is very in right now. I mean, we've even seen Hermes making a suede bag this year. It was for Kylie Jenner, I know, but it was the very first time that we actually saw a suede pink Birkin. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see that too in 2026, and mostly in bags and shoes as well. But most probably we're going to see a lot of suede tops and outerwear too, coats, jackets, even puffer jackets. Even a similar vibe to what Leve has created with the drapey, the jacket. Now, other than suede, I believe we're also going to keep seeing corduroy. It's mostly for wintertime, but I've seen it pop in, from here and there in a more calm way. Not so much as it was in the 90s, obviously. But yeah, I think it's going to pop a lot, and especially in deep chocolate brown and burgundy. I think it's amazing for winter. Now, obviously, something that I believe it's always in and will remain in 2026, it's leather and fur. Now, I personally love this trend, and it's something I really enjoy wearing, both the leather jacket and the fur coat. And I have to say that from what I've seen, I love that we tend to go back to what our grandmothers used to wear. And we tend to go back to vintage pieces, because I know that the whole vegan leather is a thing, and we keep saying vegan leather, vegan leather, vegan leather, but I don't think we realize that vegan leather is plastic. And I don't think we realize that an ethically sourced real fur coat or real leather jacket is much safer for the environment and ourselves than the amount of plastic jackets we name as vegan leather and being produced by huge companies and like all the fast fashion industry. So I really love that I see a lot of younger generations and our generation go back to the vintage pieces. And also, let's face it, they're way more durable, they're way warmer. And I mean, if you want to make a statement, make it right and make it proper. So yeah, I think I will love seeing all those leather and fur pieces, and I'm very excited to see more vintage finds. I think it was a TikTok I was scrolling this morning and I saw someone posting like their vintage Thierry Mugler fur coat. It was extraordinary, and I think it was like an archive piece, so yeah, I would love to see more like this. Obviously, I know it's rare to find Thierry Mugler from the 80s, but still, you get the idea. Now, other than that, as I mentioned, we're going to see layering, and we're going to see layering with sheer fabrics as well. From like chiffon, that is a very, very flowy fabric, to obviously lace that I mentioned earlier as well. I think we're going to see a lot of that, and I think we're going to see it a lot when it comes to being layered and layered and layered. And I'm very excited because it's very different from what we've been used until now. It adds personality to things, and I think it will make, how many times I've said the verb think? A lot. It will give personality to your outfits, and it will make a difference, and it will make a lot of people get out of their comfort zones, because I know that certain fabrics and materials are not easy to use and style. So I'm very, very excited to see how this trend prediction is going to go. The last trend that I believe we're going to see in terms of fabrics and textures is a lot of padding, and also in general like a puffier kind of vibe. I believe we are going to see puffers coming back, but in a more structured and styled way, a similar way that we have like the high neck. Yeah, I believe we're going to see chunky clothes. We are going to see padded blazers and like pointy shoulders and all of that, which I love. I want to see structure. I mean, I love baggy clothes, I love oversized clothes, but I would love to see structure on everything. And this is actually my next topic, because the next category is going to be about silhouettes, structure, and styling as well. First of all, from what I've seen, and considering the brands that are trending right now, and the brands that made quite some comebacks when it comes to their products, like Chloe, Celine, you know what I'm going to tell most probably, but I'm going to tell you about the Victorian era. I don't think we're going to go full on Vivienne Westwood, but I do think that considering how hot lace is going to be, and layering and flowy materials on top of more structured clothes, I believe that we're going to have a lot of influences from the Victorian era, which I love because obviously, if I'm not mistaken, bows are also part of that. And I mean, bows have been huge the past 2-3 years, maybe even more. So I'm very, very excited. And next, moving on to structure, obviously, as I mentioned, we're going to see tailoring. I love tailoring. I love a good suit. I love a good structure suit and a good structure on your body in general when it comes to, you know, blazers and pants and even shirts and t-shirts. Like, I know that these are your reliable pieces and your most basic pieces, but you know what? I'm 29 years old and I'm still struggling to find a proper and good fitting white and black t-shirt. So yeah, I'm looking forward to have more of that, even for the basic pieces. And also, one thing I observed is that slim denim is looking like about to come back. And I love that because obviously wide leg, oversized, looks great, super comfortable. You can style it a million different ways. You can make it casual, you can make it more fancy. But I gotta say, I love a slim fit pant, a slim fit denim that it's not disturbing you from breathing and that it's not, uber stiff and you cannot even sit down. I like to categorize denim and denim companies for jeans that you only wear when you're standing, jeans that you can wear when you're eating, and jeans that you wear when you want to be comfortable. So yeah, anyway, I would love to see an actual comeback of more slim denim because it's cuter, personally. I think you can style it in different ways. I think when you want to make a fancier outfit with denim, slim is always the option, and obviously slim pants. And hopefully we're going to see also different lengths of pants and denim in the slimmer form. So I would love to see cropped. I would love to see also long, the similar vibe that we have with wide leg to cover kind and part of the shoe. I would love to see that. Next, it's actually the longer hemlines. This is not something that has been out of style or in style, but I truly think that we slightly start to move past the everything must be cropped era, and we are moving into the longer and more normal hemline era, which I love because I am tired of trying on sweaters and hoodies and stuff and all of them being cropped. Even faux fur jackets like in Zara, H&M and stuff, they're cropped. Sir, what were you thinking? I'm sorry. I understand if you live in Los Angeles and Miami that it's almost never cold. But I'm sorry, have you been in France in the middle of winter? Have you been in Greece in the middle of winter? I'm inside my house and I'm wearing 3 layers. What do you mean a jacket is cropped? What's the purpose of the jacket? Anyway, I'm not a fan of cropped, as you can understand. But yeah, I believe, considering we saw Bermudas coming back and also remaining here during the winter with boots and tights, really interesting choice. I wouldn't wear it. I don't think I love this type of pant, but really interesting choice. Anyway, since we saw that though, and I've been seeing quite a lot of longer dresses in stores and in the runway as well, because if you think about it, even with the layering part, like even if you wear a long satin shirt or top on top of denim or on top of pants, if you saw it on the runway, the top was actually longer, and it might be asymmetrical, but still it's on the longer side of things. I love that. I love that. I think it's going to be great, and it's going to be very different from what we've seen the past few years, and hopefully finally we're going to have normal clothes in stores, because again, I don't want to wear a fur jacket that is cropped when it's 5 degrees outside. I'm sorry. Last but not least, when it comes to structure and silhouettes and styling as well, I think we will see peplum and balloon coming back now. Personal opinion, I hate it. It reminds me of the outfits that I had to wear at school when I was 10. No, especially in pants. No. But I think we're actually going to see that a lot. We are going, again, this goes back a bit to the puffier style of clothes. It's not going to be just the classic puffer jacket we are used to seeing. But we're going to see it in skirts, pants, dresses. hopefully executed right, because if it's executed right and it's not super dense that you look like an actual floating balloon, I think it can be a vibe for some people. It's not going to be for everyone because of the structure of the clothing, and because if it's not properly tailored to your body and your style, it's going to look and feel weird because of the way the weight of the clothes is distributed. I don't know if I made sense. Hopefully I did. But yeah, I am not a fan of this trend, but I predict it's going to be here, and it's going to be here a lot actually. Moving on to footwear direction. I think that we are going to still see kitten heels, the bane of my existence. I don't like them. I understand the comfort, okay? I get that. But they look hideous on every fit. Like, no matter how tall you are, no matter how short you are, no matter how like small shoe size you're wearing, they look bad. They are not flattering. They make your feet and ankles look chunky. It's very weird to style it and find like proper length for the pants or like the shoe, the skirt or the dress you're wearing with them. Yeah, I don't like kitten heels, but I believe they're going to remain here and they're going to be still in trend. But I also saw that we are moving quite to the more chunky side of shoes, which is great because I love chunkier and more oversized heels with like a block of heel and not just the super thin one. So yeah, I'm excited to see if actually this type of shoe will make a comeback, especially considering that wedges were kind of in last season, and we saw quite a few big names like Gucci making their version. Yeah, let's see how this goes. And obviously during the winter times, I believe we are going to see a lot of slouchy boots, a lot of high boots, not in terms of just heel, but over the knee length, that are going to be slouchy, that are going to be paired with denim, that the denim is also slouchy, so it's not going to be just a skinny pair of pants, it's going to be an oversized pair of pants, which looks super, super interesting. And yeah, I mean, it's a neat girl move, for my opinion, and in my eyes. Moving on to the next category, which is the accessories. I'm very excited for the accessories. We're going to see a lot of bold moves in terms of accessories. I think I read somewhere that 2026 is going to be the new 2016, and I'm here for it. I don't know the ones that are probably around my age and obviously older, you will remember the chunky necklaces we all used to wear, the super big statement necklaces. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see exactly that, but I think we're going to see a different and more modern and more minimalistic, if it can be minimalistic version of that. Like, we're going to see bold and chunky jewelry and big cuffs and a lot of jewelry layering, which I'm a huge fan. I love it. I love like wearing a million necklaces and bracelets and rings and everything. So that's going to be super fun. Also, my prediction is that we are going to tend to go more towards gold and mixed metals rather than silver. Keep that in mind. Also, another big thing that we are going to see is gloves, leather gloves, lace gloves, see-through gloves, and I believe that they're also going to be on the higher side of things, not just a classic glove that you wear when it's cold outside, but yeah, I think it's going to be a fashion statement as well. So yeah, this is something to keep in mind, and I think this trend will be here for a while. I don't think it's going anywhere. And last but not least, in terms of accessories, we're going to see a lot of hats. We're going to see like the bell hat a lot, I believe, and we're also going to see like the, how is it called? I don't remember the name, the Friends hat, and even sailor hats. I think we're going to see that too, like the captain hat. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but yeah, hats will be in, that for sure. I mean, we've seen jockeys the past like years, they never go out of style. They are perfect for a bad hair day, but yeah, this year I think we're going to see more types of hats. And again, we're still going to remain to the structured part of things. Okay, moving on to bags. I didn't include bags in the accessories. I wanted them to have like a separate category because I think we're leaning into a very interesting era and direction in terms of bags. And I'm very excited about this because honestly, even from big brands the past few years, they've been super boring, they've been super minimal. I think we took the quiet luxury way too serious. I mean, at the end of the day, fashion is supposed to be fun. Fashion is supposed to be an art, an expression of your personality and yourself with, textile usage. So, yeah, I truly believe that we took the quiet luxury and clean girl aesthetics too serious and we turned them into boring uniforms. And that includes bags. And hence why we had the whole Chinese manufacturer issues in 2025. And is it worth to buy the real thing when I can buy it from China for not even quarter of the price? You get what I'm talking about. So I was very delighted to actually see that after all these movement and these change into the fashion houses with the creative directors this year, they actually brought interesting things to the table. And we actually saw bags that are not structured properly and bags that actually have personality. Now, don't get me wrong. I love luxury stuff. I love bags. I love Hermes bags especially. And I totally respect and understand the people that get them and protect them with their lives. Yeah, obviously, when you pay $15,000 for a bag, you are going to protect it. But at the same time, I have seen some vintage pieces, for example, that are a bit beaten up. They're not as structured as when you first buy them. You can tell that they've lived a life. To me, this is fascinating because I want to know the story of this bag. I want to know the meaning behind it. I want to know how you got it. If it was for example, if it belonged to your grandmother. You get what I mean. So, that said, I love that we saw this kind of distressed and slouchy and used bag on the runway. I think it was Chanel that they had the flap bags that they looked so soft, but they were constantly open at the same time. They have a vibe that they have been lived, and they have a vibe that they have been loved and used and not sitting on a shelf being pretty little bags. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to actually see that. I was very intrigued with what Jonathan Anderson did for Dior and the late Dior, and even the classic book tote that I know a lot of people had opinions on them, and I totally get it. But the fact that he took famous books and put them on a Dior bag, it was a very bold move in my eyes. And after quite a few years, I would say, that the whole luxury industry has been boring, has had a lot of backlash, they had a lot of issues even with quality. I mean, we all know with Chanel and Van Cleef and, all of those huge names that were so many people had issues. I mean, to me, it's unacceptable to buy a Chanel bag and have the gold zip off because it's not real gold anymore or it's not properly plated. Stuff like that. So yeah, I was very excited to actually see all this movement, and especially in bags that I believe can change your whole outfit. You can wear a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and sneakers and take a cool bag and you will be a neat girl. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Another trend I believe we're going to see in terms of bags, it's a lot of top-handled and more compact bags as well. The past years, I think around 5-ish, maybe a bit less, we have leaned more to bigger bags like the Romargot, or the bigger Birkins and the bigger Kellys and Chanel 29, I think it's their newest one. I might be wrong on the name, but yeah, in general, we had a tendency to go towards bigger bags. Usually, also, that's a very interesting fun fact that there was a study, I don't remember when it happened, that said that people tend to go towards bigger bags and purchasing bigger bags when the economy is not going good, because you cannot justify paying the same amount of money for something small. So yeah, you tend to go for the bigger style of bag, like Polen, for example. Yeah, and it's not really, it's more on the high street, it's not so much luxury, but you get the idea. Anyway, very interesting, and I thought I would share. But yeah, I believe we're going to see more top handle bags that are going to be more compact and even more structured. Like, we're going to have both ends of both sides of the coin. We're going to have the slouchy, the lived ones, but we're also going to have, like, for example, I believe it was Dior. I believe it was Dior that they had like the top handle classic, that it was like the Jonathan Anderson version of the Lady Dior. So still structured, only one top handle, and yeah, more interesting at the same time. All right, and last category, it's going to be about aesthetics that we're going to see and cultural direction in general. Now, first of all, just to get it out of the way, because it's not an aesthetic I vibe with, but I know it's super in, but I think we're still going to see a lot of Western influence. We're still going to see a lot of cowboys, especially considering suede is going to be super hot. In my prediction, in my opinion, it's going to be super hot. So yeah, I think we're going to see cowboy stuff and Western things still in 2026. I don't vibe with that. I mean, I like suede. I like suede boots and bags and coats and stuff, but I don't like the cowboy and the fringes, and yeah, it's giving a bit costume in my eyes. So unless you own it, I don't feel it's something I'm vibing with. Anyway, other than that, I believe we're also going to see a lot of neo-heritage dressing. As I mentioned before, with the fur and the leather, I think we're going to bring, and the Victorian era, we are going to bring a lot of history and culture into our dressing. And this can be translated in various different ways. Like, it can be translating with wearing something vintage, or wearing something borrowed from your mom's or grandma's closet, or even buying from local designers and brands. So you bring the craftsmanship of your own culture into your day-to-day outfit. I believe it's going to be super interesting. And again, since we're mixing quite a few eras, I mean, we have the Victorian era, we have the lace, we have the layering, we have flowy materials, but we also have structure. We also have pointy shoulders, which are slightly going back to the 90s and 80s. We also have the 2016 that I think we're going to have some, sparkles from in 2026. So I think this whole mixture of eras and decades that we're taking and bringing them into next year will make things super interesting. And I'm very excited to finally see personality in clothes and in the way people are dressing. Now, moving on, we are also going to keep having, obviously, romantic movement and romance. And again, with all the flowy materials and with all the lace and with all the bows, I think we are going to see a lot of more romantic silhouettes, soft silhouettes, but with a slight edge on them. So either that is layering, either that is maybe a bolder boot, or a bolder kind of shoe, or even a bolder bag, or even a bolder jacket, paired with something more flowy. I think also it's going to be super, super interesting. And very, very last but not least, trend prediction for 2026. I think it's going to be quiet drama. Not so quiet, but also drama. So yeah, this is what I want to see very, very much in 2026. I want to see personality. I want to see drama in clothing. Like, make it loud, make it not so loud. Do like strong shapes in a mix with flowy textures and flowy fabrics. Make your presence a statement. But yeah, that was all the 26 predictions for the fashion industry in 2026. And I actually want to share a bonus one. So I truly think that we're going to move a bit past trends and things trending online and everyone going to buy it. And or at least I hope that we're going to move away from that, because I get it. Zara has cool clothes, H&M has cool clothes, but at the end of the day, not everything going viral is worth it. I work in marketing for the past 5 years in the fashion and beauty, like luxury industry. Believe me, not everything that goes viral, it's actually worth it. Because if that was the case, no marketing company and marketeer like myself would exist out there. So that being said, what I meant to say is that bring your actual personality. And I know that it's not always easy to find your personal style, and it takes time. It takes years. It takes work. It takes money. So yeah, start slowly. Bring your own personality into what you're wearing and stop going with the uniform mindset. Always just because something is trending. And at the end of the day, if someone doesn't want to be around you because you're breaking the uniform or the trends, they shouldn't be around you in the first place. So yeah, let's bring our personalities to the table. Let's have fun again with outfits and fashion, and let's start playing more with clothes. Cheers to a year of being fabulous. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found any of my predictions useful and fun. Don't forget to share your predictions in the comments. I'm very, very curious and excited to see what you guys think that we're going to see a lot in 2026. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Find me on the other social media platforms. I will obviously have everything linked down below. And I'll see you on the next one.